morning, everybody. Welcome in on this Monday. It is the third day of January. Not only is it the third day of January, it's also the first Monday of 2022. We're going to have to get used to saying that one. For some of us, it's kind of like, who would have thought? I mean, I don't think back, I date myself, but back when I was in high school, back in the, 70s, I would have thought that, 2022 was just, that's so beyond my thinking. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even something that I thought about, living until 2022. What's the old song? In the year? Yeah, no. Well, I'm pretty sure I won't live that long. But anyway, it's good to have you up with us this morning. It is cold out there this morning. If you have not been outside yet, prepare yourself. You thought yesterday was cold? It's much colder this morning. In fact, Chad was back this morning in the studio with us saying it was 20 degrees colder this morning than it was yesterday. Now, of course, you got to kind of put into place the wind chill factor, or just the chill factor if you want to. So again, I would say heavy coat. I'm just sitting here thinking, if you got a coat for Christmas, if you got a new sweater, go put it on. Go put it on now before you go outside, because you're going to want it for sure this morning. Temperatures, let me look and see. But before I do that, I want to check one other thing real quick here. For some breaking news that somebody had reported this morning. I do not see it. Okay, we'll continue to follow what's going on. Anyway, this morning, this is a Facebook Live, which means that you can weigh in and comment if you want. You can tell us where you're watching from. You can say good morning. You can give me a heads up on something that's going on in your community that you think other people should know about. All those things I'd love to hear. And of course, the reminder to hit us with a like if you don't mind. That's just the little blue circle with the thumbs up in it. And you maybe say, why? Why? Because it's an indicator of how many people have actually actively engaged in what's going on. And it's a way of measurement for Facebook. All right. So again, it just helps us get it out there. Helps us get the product a little bit further distributed. Let me put it that way. So if you don't mind, thumbs up. If you don't want to, I don't have a problem with that either. Would also remind you too that if you go to YouTube, you can find out what's going on as well with our at-home updates. It's Dan's at Home, and you can subscribe. And if you click the notifications, every time we do an update, it will send you out a little notification. So let's see who is up this morning and who is hanging in there with us. Kaylee, good morning to you. Joetta's up this morning. Esther, good morning to you, and Happy New Year as well. The fireworks thing, do you guys have a problem in your neighborhood? Because I got up early on Friday morning, I went to bed a little bit early. My wife stayed up. My son was in town. They stayed up. I went to bed. It was like there was a war going on outside the window. It's crazy. You don't have to go to a fireworks display anymore. People are buying, it's got to be hundreds. It's got to, for some people, I'm sure it's thousands of dollars worth of fireworks. It was loud, no doubt about that. Darlene Dorsey Pickens, good morning, my old friend. Hope you are very well and happy in San Antonio. I hope that the year got off to a good start for you. Hi, Carlene. Good morning to you. Teresa is up with us this morning as well. Gloria Morris, good morning to you. Also, Thelma, good morning. Yeah, trying to stay. Yesterday was the first day of the year that we burned, we may go, oh, well, yeah, Dan, it's, I didn't mean the New Year. It's the first time this winter, let me rephrase that we actually had a fire in the fireplace, and we kept it going all day long. Joetta says, yeah, it is cold out there this morning. It certainly is. Hi, Marie. Good morning to you. Stacy is up with us this morning. Hi, Gary over in Viner. Appreciate your checking out what's going on. George Glaze, good morning to you as well. Again, if there's something on your mind this morning you want to let us know about, this is the way to do it. It's just like commenting on any other Facebook post. Whether it's live or not, you just go to the bottom, type in whatever you want to say, and I can see it. If I don't mention it during the course of our time together this morning, doesn't mean that I'm not reading them. I read everything that comes in, so good or bad. I've got pretty thick skin after all these years of doing television and hearing people's opinions, so I don't have a problem with that. I always tell people, if you don't like me, that's okay. I just hope that you will at least hang around to find out what we have to share with you and take that in. And I don't expect you to accept it on face value just because I say it or anybody else says it, that you would at least take the time to go and verify and check out, see for yourself what's going on. All right, let's go to the headlines this morning. We'll start things off. Weather to me is the number one story, but the number two story is, unfortunately, the violent start to the new year. Already, we are talking about two homicide investigations that are underway in the city of Beaumont. It's the third day of January. Come on, that should be shocking to all of us. Hopefully, we have not gotten so jaundiced, so jaded, that when we see a homicide story, we don't just go, oh, okay. Another homicide. We should be shocked when we see this. We should be talking about what's going on inside our society, shouldn't we? Instead of just looking at it and accepting it, shouldn't it be a topic of conversation? Again, you can go and read the story. As I said, this is the second homicide in as many days. Also this morning, if you haven't seen it, this is the front page of KFDM.com, where you can go and check out what's happening and all of your headlines across Southeast Texas. There are the two homicide stories that we are talking about right there, so you can get updated on that. Then the other top story of the morning, another sad story. Bond doubled to $1 million for former Evadale Little League president accused of abusing children. You can go and read this story. The one thing that I always feel obligated to say, and I think we probably don't say it enough, is this, that when a person is charged and or taken to court and charges are filed, that does not mean they are guilty. It doesn't mean that they're not guilty. My point being that a simple charge is not guilt. Guilt comes either by admittance or by what? A jury trial. That's how we do it in this country, and I think sometimes we need to be aware of that, because certainly I'm not saying anything about this specific case, whether this person did or didn't. I'm just saying that when a person is arrested, that is not a conviction. That comes later. Now, there are a lot of people trying to get the word out on this story. I understand that. And again, we will continue to follow the story, and we will hopefully present it in its proper, and this should be that way for every story. That if somebody is arrested for something that they did, if it's a DWI or if it's, it can be so many different, assault, whatever. It doesn't mean they didn't do it. And it doesn't mean there wasn't probable cause to make the arrest. But at the same time, it is not a conviction. There is a process. And sometimes we forget the process. And, the court of public opinion suddenly jumps from the beginning of the process to the end of the process without due process. Just a good way to start a new year. I'm just telling you, we have a tendency to do that with all stories. And we should caution ourselves, because there are a lot of people that in certain situations, and again, I'm not specifically this story, but I'm just saying stories in general as journalists, when we show somebody's picture or we say someone's name, because of the nature of who we are as human beings, We never hear the part about, or we don't follow up and find out, oh, their case was thrown out or they were found not guilty. We seem to focus a lot more on the beginning of the story, not necessarily the end of the story. But that said, this is a story that we will continue to follow. There's no doubt about that. In a story, we're going to continue to bring you updates. I'm sure we have another one coming today because I've already been in a newsroom meeting and I know that's coming. And again, this gentleman was charged with indecency with children and, of course, in charge of a little league. Yeah, you can bet it's a story we're going to continue to follow. Also this morning, medical campus coming to Orange to fill the gap. Christus Southeast Texas and NextCore, which is a nationwide or a national healthcare developer, and Christus Southeast Texas have decided they are going to begin the initial development phase of the Gisela Hausman Medical Campus, which will be a 2-story, 55,000 square foot medical office building. It's good news, I would think, for Orange. There are a lot of people in that community following the closure of Baptist Hospital of Orange. You know, that the idea that you have to drive 30, 40, 50 minutes to find health care, it has been a struggle. So, again, good news. Certainly, again, a story we'll continue to follow as it progresses and moves forward because this, again, is phase 1. Phase 1. Some comments coming in this morning. Let's see. Tammy Cornwell says, Dan, I was hoping KFDM would be back close to normal the first Monday of 2022. Any word? Tammy, I was hoping it would be back to normal as well, but that is not the case. We're not there. I'm not gonna promise anything because I don't know the answer to your question. All I can say is I hope that it will be soon. This is, for those who don't know, a ransomware issue that started what now is months ago, but has continued to plague our technology. So as soon as we get straightened out, and hopefully that's the case, soon. That's all I can tell you. Soon. I hope so. Jesse, good morning and Happy New Year to you as well. Hope it was a very quiet ringing in of the new year for so many people out there. Let's see. Lana Baker says, moved here last year from Tulsa and I love the cold. Thankful there is no ice or snow. Lana, it's not that we don't get ice or snow. It's just we don't get it very often. And I, for one, am not complaining. I think a lot of us, at one point thought, oh, I love cold weather. And I still like cold weather. But then when it comes, I'm just as soon wishing for, to get back to wearing shorts and T-shirts as well. I don't want it to be hot, but at the same time, I don't want to be freezing either. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. And it is nice. I think it's nice to have, the change of weather instead of having, which we did for the last, week where it was just 80 degrees every afternoon. We're not going to be 80 this week, I don't think, but we may get pretty close. But we've got another front coming through. All right, let's finish up this morning with, speaking of which, it's that same old thing, careful what you wish for. There are a lot of people who are like, oh, we could use some cold weather. Well, now there are a lot of people in the mid-Atlantic and even the south of this country that not only got their winter weather, but they also got some storms that were strong enough to take out the power. So you're talking about from the south, mid-Atlantic, D.C., Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey. Yeah, a lot of them, that's what they're waking up to this morning. This is from the USA Today. You can see kids sliding down the hill. So again, go check it out for yourself at USA Today. Some of that winter weather that is going on. Better them than us, as we used to say on the morning show. All right, that's it for me. It's a Monday. I'm ready to get out of here. I know you've got things to do as well. Go out and take care of them. And of course, be careful. Remember, if you want to keep up with what's going on, KFDM.com is available 24/7. You can always go to the websites. Also, fox4beaumont.com. Plus, of course, you can also go to Facebook. You're there now, KFDM News. Come back, check throughout the day. We'll update our stories, as you can imagine. Also, Twitter, if you want to find out what's going on, check out Morning TV Dan. I try to update things every once in a while. But YouTube, another great place to go if you want to watch the updates. Dan's at Home. You can subscribe there and get the notifications, and we'll push them out as soon as we can. We try to be here. And again, if you're not familiar, Dan's at Home. We try to do this every morning just to kind of give you a jump start on some of the stories that are happening in your community. Again, go out and make it a terrific day, and we'll look forward to talking to you again soon.